The oldest desert on Earth is home to one of the least known creatures on our planet. A mysterious animal that hides many secrets. Like a desert mirage, it blends into the dunes. Other creatures sense its presence. They can feel the danger. Secretive and elusive, this is a phantom of the desert. It's known as a scavenger, but this is a skilled hunter. Only one thing seems clear. This animal is a survivor. But how long can it last in a changing world? European sailors once called this brutal coastline the gates of hell. For resident Bushmen, it was the land God made in anger. This is Namibia's Atlantic coast, one of the driest, windiest, and most extreme places on our planet. Its shipwrecks the fatal proof of its ferocious nature. Yet one creature has made this place its own. Its hunting grounds are the seal colonies that hug the shoreline. The cold, rich ocean supports hundreds of thousands of Cape fur seals. The seals, in turn, support the clever desert predator, the brown hyena, better known on these shores as the strand wolf. There is one more adventurous spirit who's been lured to this wild shore. German scientist Ingrid Wiesel is devoting her life to studying the strand wolf, and it's never easy.
I'm trying to locate one of my female hyenas. Her name is Tosca. I haven't received her signal for a long time, and so I'm a little bit worried, and I'm not really sure what happened to her. She is the main breeding female of one of the clans that I'm studying, so finding her is really important to me.
Ingrid first discovered Tosca as a 4-month-old cub. She's watched her favorite grow up to become the leader of her clan.
Tosca is an extremely important hyena to me. I've known her for many years, but I've also known her mother, I've known her grandmother. She's basically the 3rd generation of hyenas of the group that I started studying when I arrived here 17 years ago.
Ingrid works in the world's oldest desert, the Namib, which stretches along the entire coast of Namibia. She is based in the old diamond mining town of Luderitz.
I'd never heard of Luderitz, and looking at it on the map, it didn't look to me as if it would be brown hyena country, but what did I know? So at the end I decided I'd take the chance, I traveled to Luderitz, and I arrived here, and it was one of the windiest days you can imagine, and my first thought was like, oh, what did I get myself into?
Not only would Ingrid have to work in some of the harshest desert conditions imaginable, her study animal had a reputation for being notoriously shy. Finding one made all the difference.
The first brown hyena I saw and laid eyes on in this area, I was in love with them. They were so beautiful and not what I expected.
Ingrid soon found a family of hyenas that she could study. This was Tosca's clan.
I followed the movements of her mother and grandmother, and I could see how she inherited all this ancient knowledge that the other 2 hyenas also inherited. And she really became part of my life and like part of my family too, which makes it just a special connection that I have.
Brown hyenas can travel 90 kilometers in a single journey, so following them through this vast wilderness is never easy. But Ingrid has a way to track their every step. She's fitted Tosca and some other breeding females with GPS collars.
These collars emit a VHF signal, so I can actually track the animal that is wearing the collar.
The collar records exactly where the hyena travels from day to day and how long it stays there. And whenever Ingrid comes into radio contact with it, she can download all its collected data.
Yeah, one can actually find out a lot about the animal's life and the animal's activity and behavior just by having these collars fitted. I don't even have to see the animal, I don't have to get close to it. It's all done remotely. And the beauty is also we can drop the collar off once the battery expires, so the animal won't have the collar on for the rest of its life. It's just for a couple of years.
After 17 years of study, Ingrid is now the world expert on these elusive carnivores. Local people now call her the hyena lady. Her study is overturning all that scientists thought they knew about brown hyenas. The collar data showed that Ingrid's hyenas spend a great deal of time in seal colonies. Their nickname Strand Wolf rings true. People thought they were scavenging on seal carcasses.
It's quite amazing what's happening there.
Ingrid has discovered that these animals are in fact proper hunters. Seal pups are an important food source for the hyenas, and of course, easy for people to feel sympathy for. But Ingrid keeps her focus on the science.
When you are at the seal colony, you've got thousands of seal pups there. So you don't really bond with one of the seal pup. It's like a prey item.
The hyenas are remarkably skillful hunters. Just one bite crushes the pup's skull and kills it instantly.
If you study a carnivore, you have to deal with death. I mean, they have to feed their young, that's just life.
Another of Ingrid's discoveries is that these coastal hyenas are also active by day rather than just by night, like other inland hyenas. Seal pups are crucial to their survival. Ingrid suspects that they can even smell out pups that have recently suckled and are full of rich, fatty milk. A hyena will even pump out the milk from the pup's belly with its paw. The hyenas carry their kill back to their dens, which can be as far as 20 kilometers away in secluded mountain valleys. The den site is hugely important for Ingrid's fieldwork, because this is where all the members of a hyena clan meet up. Ingrid's favorite, Tosca, was one of the hardest working hyenas.
It's actually females that are my favorite animals, because that's the ones you observe with the cubs at the den the most. So obviously they grow to your heart, and you see how much they have to work to raise the cubs.
A typical den will have 2 to 4 adults who all bring back food for the cubs. Black-backed jackals are squatters at the den site, always after an easy meal. The secluded locations give the cubs the best start in life with little disturbance. The cubs will stay here until they're 15 months old. In her search for Tosca, Ingrid returns to her known den sites. If Tosca's here, Ingrid will find her.
I haven't seen her for weeks, and I was just hoping by having a look at all the den sites that I know that she's used in the past that I could find her and see what she's doing, whether she's breeding or whether she's okay.
But wherever she looks, all dens are empty. The large number of old bones proves this has been a well-used site. But there are no recent bones.
When her mum died, Tosca became the main breeding female of that hyena clan. And, you know, these females are extremely important to clan structure because it's usually only one female in a group that has got cubs. So for the whole dynamics of the clan, she is important.
By the end of her search through all the den sites, one thing is clear. Tosca and her clan have abandoned their home range.
Tosca is a really special hyena to me. I've got this special bond to her, and although I know she doesn't really have a bond to me, quite naturally, she'd probably rather be left alone, but I know, I hope or I believe that she would recognize me and that she actually knows who I am, and whatever I'm trying to do here, it's actually for the greater good of these animals to survive in this area.
Tosca's disappearance leaves Ingrid with a perplexing riddle. Where has Tosca taken her clan? And perhaps more importantly, why have they left? If Tosca's disappearance is a sign of some new threat to hyena survival, then Ingrid's search is crucial. The next sensible place to search is one of the beaches where Tosca could be hunting, a place called Van Riennen Bay. There are several seal rookeries dotted along the shoreline. Ingrid has an observation post high up on a cliff top, the perfect place to scout the beach. So far, there's no sign of hyenas, only jackals.
There are quite a lot of jackals there today.
They're making a good meal of the seal carcasses. But this year, there are fewer seals here. Hungry jackals are becoming more desperate. Some will even try to bring down a large seal pup. The pup must remain close to its mother. The jackals will try to split them apart. They've done it. Now the only safe place for the pup is the water. Further down the beach, another seal is under attack. The jackals try to throttle the seal, holding tight onto its throat, but a seal can hold its breath for several minutes. The 4 jackals work as a team, but they're not alone. Moving in from across the beach, other jackals sense a meal is at hand, and they make their move as one frenzied mob.
Quite amazing. It's a huge group of jackals just ripping this pup apart. It's really amazing how efficient they are with their hunting strategy. They've got these groups that form and they cooperate so brilliantly. They are true survivors, these jackals.
There are dozens of jackals, but no hyenas. Time to move on. There's a large seal colony 100 kilometers south of Luderitz, where Ingrid hopes to find Tosca. It's called Baker's Bay. During the summer breeding season, there are more than 20,000 seals here. It's a prolific hyena hunting site. Far off, an injured hyena is moving towards the colony.
Oh my God, this is amazing. This is a very old friend of mine. I can't believe this, but it's a hyena called Halenge. It's a hyena I collared many, many years ago. He was the first hyena that I ever collared with a GPS collar. And he must be, I must think a bit, but I think he's about 14 to 16 years old. So I really didn't expect him to see me here at the seal colony. Well, he looks in a pretty good shape for his age, but he's limping quite badly. It's not really unusual because a lot of hyenas do injure themselves here. They fall, they slip in the rocks. But obviously, you know, there's quite a lot of competition between hyenas at seal colonies, so they also fight a lot. So he might have got the injury from a fight with another hyena. He's out there at the colony, maybe to kill seals.
But is it possible for an old hyena on his last legs to catch a seal? The pup's mother has a nasty bite. Its mother is defending well. His age and his injury are working against him. Can he catch anything?
And there he goes. There we go. Wow, he still knows how to hunt. This is incredible.
Few predators kill their prey as swiftly as a brown hyena.
This is what a successful hyena. To survive in the wild for all these years, it's amazing.
Halenge turns his attention to a second pup. It too is dead with one bite. Ingrid has seen this unusual behavior before, when the hyena doesn't stop killing. The average is 3 pups, but some will take 10 or 20. One hyena took close to 100 pups. Ingrid calls this an overstimulus situation. Prey is abundant, and the hyena's hunting instinct keeps it excited. Baker's Bay is a hotspot for hyenas, but so far there's no sign of Tosca. Ingrid suspects it might be related to falling seal populations.
Over the past 10 years, I've been seeing that the population size of the seal colonies has been decreasing. The hyenas might have to go further inland to find enough food for their survival.
So has Tosca gone inland too? Ingrid must now change the direction of her search and head into the great Namib Desert. Some unexpected inhabitants of the Namib are its wild horses. They have lived here for generations. One story says the first horses were released by German soldiers during the First World War. Another, that they were survivors from a shipwreck further down the coast. Whatever their origins, there's no doubt they are tough survivors. They've adapted well to the harsh desert. For the past century, they've overcome terrible droughts and formidable predators like lions and hyenas. The herds are small, about 10 horses led by the dominant mare. A stallion or two will protect the mares and foals and keep rivals at bay. It's possible that Tosca is in another hyena's territory. Ingrid has another collared female she wants to check out. Her name is Oblixa, and she lives in a ghost town called Elizabeth Bay.
I haven't received her signal for quite a long time now, so I'm a little bit worried what's happened to her. And I want to see if I can find her today, just to see whether she's all right, and also to see if the collar is still working.
Elizabeth Bay was abandoned in 1948. It's one of the most unusual places to find brown hyenas.
So it's absolutely amazing to think that 100 years ago people were living here, and now suddenly the hyenas have made the houses their home, and nature has taken over this place again in a quite unique way.
The town was built by colonial Germans in 1908 to house workers for a nearby diamond mine. When they left, the desert moved in, slowly erasing the memories of a thriving community. Disappearing under the sands are the homes, the school, the bakery, the butcher, the soft drinks factory that gave residents a brief respite from the blistering heat. The unrelenting wind erodes every brick and stone. This was the town casino. It had a restaurant and bars, gambling saloons, and a skittle alley. Its entertainment hall is now a favorite resting place for hyenas.
I received Obelixa's signal now. It's very, very difficult to judge the direction of the signal with being between all these buildings, so it bounces off all the walls. And I know that Obelixa has got quite a few resting sites inside these buildings. So just in case if she's inside there, that we are not standing right in front of her and she hasn't got any way out and, you know, we put ourselves in danger. Yeah, it sounds as if it's actually coming from inside there. I can get a signal from everywhere, but Obelixa likes to rest in these ruins, so I know of a very, very nice resting site here. And I just want to see if she's actually in there. But, no. See, this is the resting site over there, and you can still see all her footprints. They're relatively fresh. So maybe she's been here yesterday. Okay, just have a look in the other houses if we can find her. There she is, there she is. She just came out there. Okay, she's walking around the building there. There she goes. She doesn't look bad. I can't get a good enough view on Obelixa now to really judge her condition, but you know, what's clear to me is that the collar is not working properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to capture her to replace the collar.
By dusk, Ingrid is almost ready. A wildlife vet, Hartmut Artwin, joins her. In order to capture Obelixa, they will need to dart her with a tranquilizer. Hartmut has worked with Ingrid before and knows this drill well. And he's a good shot. The capture will have to be in total darkness.
Brown hyenas are very shy animals. We can't use any white light as we won't disturb them, so we have to make use of technologies such as infrared technologies and night vision to be able to observe them.
They've laid out bait to draw in Obelixa, but so far only black-backed jackals are interested. Several cold hours later, Ingrid spots something special.
There's a hyena, but it is a cub. It's quite small, I think. I would think it's about 9 months old. It could be one of Obelixa's cubs. That's amazing. There are 2 hyenas at the bait. There. I think there's Obelixa. Yeah, I can see the collar. It's Obelixa. She's chasing the jackal from the bait. Oh, fantastic. We have to be very, very quiet now not to disturb her.
Oblixa isn't too startled and doesn't run far. This is good, since finding her in the dark could be difficult. The drug is already working. She'll be down in 10 minutes. Oblixa settles in a good spot, easy to reach. They don't have much time.
We have to be extremely quiet because the animal can still hear everything which is going on around it, but it can't react to it, so it will get quite nervous and upset.
Ingrid fits a new collar.
So we usually also cover the eyes that it can't see anything, which relaxes the animals a lot. We have to be very careful that we don't fit it too tight, so we've got like this 2-finger rule that you kind of are still able to put 2 fingers between the animal's neck and the collar, so it can swallow with ease. But we also have to make sure that the collar doesn't slip over the head.
Hartmut conducts a full examination. Ingrid will take tissue samples for analysis. Keeping track of the animal's health is essential to her work. Finally, they inject the antidote, which will bring Oblixa out of her sleep in just a few minutes.
The animals actually suffer from some sort of amnesia from the drugs, which works in our favor because they often, or they don't seem to remember what has actually happened to them.
She's a bit unsteady at first, but this is normal. She'll be fine within the hour. By next morning, Oblixa has recovered well. The darting won't scare her away from Elizabeth Bay. She's strongly attached to this place, so it's unlikely Tosca could have come here. The search for Tosca will continue in the air. From up here, Ingrid can best understand the world that brown hyenas inhabit. For much of the shoreline, there's no sign of life, just sand and surf. In only a few places are the seal colonies, which are so important for the survival of the hyenas that live along the coast. Further inland, the desert seems infinite. Somehow, brown hyenas find ways to survive and even thrive here. Here, their food sources are scarce and much more spread out across the desert. They need much larger home ranges than those on the coast, up to 3,000 square kilometers. So even with an aircraft, tracking just one hyena is still a monumental challenge. So far, there's no signal anywhere in the desert, so Ingrid shifts the search back to the coast south of Luderitz. There's a large seal colony at a place called Atlas Bay. Ingrid is in luck.
I think I hear a very faint signal now. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay.
It's Tosca's signal.
I got a very faint signal of Tosca close to Atlas Bay, so I really want to take the opportunity and go into that area and see if I can get a signal from the ground.
Ingrid has fixed Tosca's signal in some hills near Atlas Bay. She knows of an old, unused den in the area.
I'm just looking for some activity here. I can see some jackals here in the rocks, which is really a good indication that the den might be active because they always look for food, because hyenas carry food back to the den. And I'll see a couple of fresh brown hyena tracks here, so I'm quite hopeful that this den could be active, but I'll go a bit closer and have a look if I can see something. Well, judging by the amount of spoor I see here and all these carcasses and just the smell of rotting, prey, I really think that this den is active. I don't want to disturb them, so I'm going to just go around and sit a little bit further away and observe and see if I can see anything. I just don't have any idea which hyenas could be here. It could be Tosca, which would be amazing.
Waiting for hyenas can be long and cold in this desert.
Well, there are some hyenas that arrived. It is very difficult to see now, but it looks as if there are two sub-adults, and there's definitely one adult around there, but I can't see who it is. The only thing I can do is I have to set up a camera trap close to the den to actually get images of these hyenas to be able to identify them. But it's fantastic, the den is active.
The next morning, Ingrid sets up her remote camera. She needs to secure it well. Hyenas are curious.
So the way these camera traps work is that they've got an infrared sensor which emits a beam, and if an animal walks through this beam and the beam is broken, then the camera automatically takes a photograph. We've basically set this camera trap now to record videos. So I'm going to leave that here now overnight, and then I'll check tomorrow morning. Hello? Oh, no, not another one. I got a phone call this morning that somebody found a dead brown hyena on the road. And from the area where he described he found this hyena, it could actually be that it is Tosca. So I'm really worried that we've got bad news. Oh, there, I can see the hyena. It's on the side of the road.
The hyena is lacking a collar, but hyenas do lose collars.
so it could be Tosca. So the first thing I do just to quickly check is whether it's a male or a female. And it is a male. So it can't be Tosca, which is really good. It might sound a bit stupid, but I'm always relieved when, you know, it is a male, as bad as it is to have a roadkill. But if it's a female, there's always the chance that this animal was lactating and that basically then the cubs are without a mum and might not make it. Or even that the animal is pregnant. And, you know, that is always a double, triple tragedy. I can see he's a very young animal. He's just 3 years old, so he is a youngster. Very, very good condition. So I'm just going to take him away from here and do a proper, you know, do the measurements and everything and take all the samples we need. These hyenas, they've already got such a tough life out here in the desert, trying to survive, finding enough food, raising their cubs. And it's always so sad to see that actually, you know, still the humans are the biggest threat to even these elusive animals which live in such a, like, pristine area.
Next day, Ingrid is back at Atlas Bay to check the camera.
I'm really excited to see what's on these photos. I hope I can ID some of the animals. So we should be able to see, oh no. Oh, the hyenas managed again to get the equipment out despite all my efforts. So, well, I guess I just have to find the bits and pieces and hope that the memory card is still somewhere and that I can still recover some of the photos and see the culprits. So we've got the back here. There's some more pieces. Oh yeah, I can see it. Oh God, that's good. At least, well, it still looks, I hope we can still use it. It's pretty dirty, but the camera trap is beyond repairs, that's for sure. I'm just going to open a couple and see whether we've got hyenas on there. There's a porcupine. So this porcupine just came out of the one entrance there. There's an animal coming. What is this? What? Oh no, it's a jackal. Shame. I thought maybe it's the mother. Just open another one. Have a look what's on there. Oh. This is the one which ate my camera trap. It's just grabbed a piece and I see it walking off with it. And I can't really make out any identification. There we go, it's coming back. And that's it. I think this is when the camera trap was destroyed. Well, we know the animals are there, but I'm going to go back and set up another camera trap, but this time I'll make another plan and I'll try to set it up in a way that I can't destroy it at all. But this is really good news. I'm so excited. I'm right at the den now. The entrance is just a couple of meters away from me, and now I've just put it very high up so the animals actually can't reach it from the ground. And I hope this one is going to work now.
In just a day or two, Ingrid will learn if she has finally found Tosca. But there's still the other question she wants answered. Why did Tosca's clan leave their former home? Ingrid returns to the old seal colony which Tosca abandoned. It's not a large seal colony, but has been important for Tosca's clan.
On this beach, you usually find marine carrion washed up. And I just want to see, this is weird. God, I haven't seen this before. I'm quite concerned. If there are actually hundreds of dead seals on this beach, this is incredible. Usually seal pups die within the first month of being born. That's when we find most mortality. But now the pups are 4 or 5 months old. They shouldn't actually die in these numbers.
If there have been other such mass mortalities here, then Tosca's decision to move her clan elsewhere begins to make sense. The seal population on this small beach must have been falling. A mass seal death would have provided a meal for a day or two, but in the long term, Tosca's clan was running out of food. This beach, which was once full of seals, is now like Elizabeth Bay, only home to ghostly memories.
I'll just take some samples and I'll talk to the marine biologist today, and we'll see if we can find out what this caused.
By the time Ingrid gets back to Luderitz, she has an answer.
The marine biologist here in Namibia, they're talking about a neurotoxin called domoic acid, which is produced by algae.
Domoic acid poisoning comes from algae blooms like red tide. The poison attacks the brains of mammals like seals and people and can kill. The outbreaks occur when normally cold ocean water warms up.
I just think that the marine biologist might be right and that we've got a problem at hand here.
The problem with warmer ocean water is that it supports fewer fish, the staple diet of fur seals. This means fewer seals, and that's a problem for Namibia's coastal hyenas. All this is connected to our changing climate. So here, in this remote corner of our planet, global warming is threatening the lives of brown hyenas. A few days later, Ingrid is back at the Atlas Bay den site. This time the camera's still in one piece. Ingrid will take the memory card back to her office.
Looks as if it's been like going on and off the whole night, so this is really exciting. I hope. Okay, those are 2 sabadars. Just in front of the entrance. Lots of jackals, 4 jackals chasing each other, going to the den entrance. No, there's nothing on there. It's so often the case. There is an adult. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. She's got a collar, so I think, oh yeah, I can see her clearly now on the next video. That's Tosca. I can't believe it, she's there. Oh God, it's so amazing to see her again. Now she's digging at the entrance. Maybe she's planning to use it or just opening the entrance wider. Oh no, oh, there's a tiny little cub coming out. This is unbelievable. And the second one. And it looks, they are hers. I mean, this is incredible. They go straight to Tosca. Oh, they're probably 3 months old. They're not older than 3 months. They are tiny. Oh, this is amazing. She's lying down. They're probably going to nurse just now. Yeah, she's lifting her leg. You can see that the 2 cubs are still, the 1 cub is already nursing, but the other one is still investigating, and it could actually be one of the first times that they come out of the den, because brown hyenas use natal dens, which are relatively small, and the cubs stay inside, so the mum basically just goes to the den, nurses them, but they don't come out. And then only later she moves them to a communal den where they start coming out and socializing with all the other animals. this is great. This is better than I ever hoped for, finding her and her small little cubs.
Just 2 months later, the cubs are growing large and confident to be out in daytime. And Tosca reveals a more tender side to brown hyenas. It's easy to understand why Tosca is Ingrid's favorite, and why Ingrid worked so hard to find her. But now she wants to let Tosca go.
Tosca's collar's life is coming to an end. So I decided, before I'm losing her and maybe the collar again, I decided to actually drop the collar off and retrieve all the data. So on the one side, as a scientist, I'm really happy to retrieve all the data today and to be able to see what she's been up to for the past year. But on the other hand, I'm really sad because it means I have to let go. I have to say goodbye to Tosca, who, you know, I've followed for such a long time. So I feel a little bit as if I'm losing a friend.